Okay, so in this episode, we're finally going to install this water tank. It is a 36-gallon water tank manufactured by Northwest Conversions. I bought it from Vanland, and I'll put a link down below. Last I checked, it wasn't available, but this was the largest tank I could find. It's going to go right down here now that we have this panel installed. Once this is secured, then I can put in the galley over here. And then over this whole water tank is going to go a large box on both sides, and that box will form what they call the garage and the bed above. So let's get that done. Early on, I was determined not to put any 2x4s in the van like you see in so many other van builds. It just looks cheap, and I'm not building my grandma's kitchen. But in this case, I'm going to use two cross members to support the water tank, and I'll show you why in a minute. All right, that's kind of an odd combination, but it will work. And then we'll use these little gussets here for support down here. I don't know if you can see this. I'll get a better view once I assemble it. But the first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to route out some slots for two hoses to go underneath this, and then I might support this with a little more piece of with another piece of plywood. But let's see. First thing I got to do is route out some slots, and then put the primer around this wood. Okay, I just wasted 20 minutes looking for a router bit. I need to really route out two notches to accommodate both the hot water and the cold water hoses on both ends of this. So I'm going to set up the table saw and just route some notches in using that. All right, to accommodate both the hot water and cold water hoses, we're going to have to put a 1/2-inch slot in this 2x4 here. I'm going to go 1 inch in from the end, approximately a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to go another 1.5 inches here. And let's mark these. Oop. Of course, this is going to be the bottom of the cut, so I'll mark the sides as well. Nothing has to be precise, but hopefully clean. Let's see how that works. All right, I'm going to take my first cut only halfway because of this guard, and I don't want to remove it. And then I'll just work my way that way by tapping it with a hammer. Let's see how that goes. Again, this would go a lot faster if the garden wasn't in place and I had a router bit, but that looks pretty good. We'll do the second one now. You don't need to watch that one. All right, it is getting dark already at 4:31. Before I clean up, I am going to put a coat of the Kills multi-surface sealer and block stainer on this beautiful work of art here. Simply to seal all the wood. Kills primer is in place. I'm going to accelerate the drying with a little heater here because it is quite damp and cool here. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back and probably run to the grocery store and then work on the 80/20 hardware. All right, it is Tuesday, December 23rd. I had to stop last night because the primer for these blocks of 2x4s wasn't dry. I actually put them in an oven this morning, but this is the solution I'm planned right now. I have to run two hoses underneath here because the water heater is going to be positioned right here because it no longer fits under the galley. So then we'll obviously insulate that, and then we'll run some straps. These tie-down locations right now are going to be perfect. I'll just run a bolt through here, tie it down, and then run a strap all the way around the tank. So let's get started. All right, this improvised support for my water tank is pretty much complete. I'm not sure if this is the way to go, but we're going to put some tinselate on the wheel well and in that cavity there, and insert the water tank. And again, I'm going to have some straps that go around it to hold it in place. Let's see if it fits. It's kind of improvised, but I'm happy with the results here. Again, I think the only thing that's neat is a 1-inch metal strap over two ends of this, and we've got a water tank. Good night. It is Saturday, December 27th. The days are getting longer. The sun is out in Monterey Bay today, and the Packers are playing on the West Coast at 5 o'clock. To stick with tradition, I'm going to have some hamburgers and bratwurst, and I'm going to grill them right here on my little Weber kettle. So let's get that started. So the tradition is you always cook the brats first, and obviously always on a charcoal grill. You know, a gas grill could work for steaks, chicken, and so on, but bratwurst need to be on charcoal. Once those are done, we're going to take this pan out, dump the water out, pour in some beer, and then add on the burgers. The fire will be a little cooler. It'll be perfect for cooking burgers. And we finish off the grilling for the pre-game event by some simple hamburgers. Very similar to what I would have done back in Sheboygan with my parents, except this is grass-fed organic. Looking forward to eating one of those. All right, there you have it. Sheboygan tradition. Bratwurst missing the onions in beer, and some plain old hamburgers. I'm going to plate up a... Should I do a double brat? I don't know. We'll see. The only thing missing is a Sheboygan hard roll, but we'll do with some Kaiser rolls that I'm toasting. All right, there it is, folks. A Monterey Bay double bratwurst. Kind of sacrilegious. I didn't have pickles or onions, but it is grilled on a charcoal grill down here. And there is no Sheboygan hard roll. Sheboygan hard roll, I should say. And if we were back in Sheboygan in the 70s, it would be Kingsbury beer. But anyway, this is my pre-game snack. I'm going to set up the TV here, see if I can pull in an HD channel. I think it's on NBC, and watch the game. It was so cold last night, I had to move the van to the east side of the structures here to warm it up, basically. But let's finish this up today. As you can see now, I've got the hot water line and the cold water line run under the water tank, and I'm just going to seal up this beam here, place the water tank on. Oh, and of course I've got to add this insulation here. All right, it is a beautiful day here in Monterey Bay. We've got some rain coming later in the week, and it is the last week of the year. But we made some progress, not as much as I wanted to, but let's take a look. So the water tank is now, that's the installation right there, minus these straps here. We're going to take the tank off, mount the straps to the wall of the van and wrap them around. And then I'm actually going to use, I think, 2x4s for this water tank here. We'll raise it up just about that height, and then start with the plumbing. And then today we're actually going to install the galley way over here, see how everything fits up. And then again, a big box is going to go over here, and a big box on this side, and the bed up above. Moved onto the driver's side of the van here. Here in the rear, we've added 2 layers of tinselate, and we're going to attach the Baltic Birch plywood section here, which is enhanced with a layer of Duramax Academy Blue. We've got the lower rear panel in on the driver's side of the van, and incidentally, I think I'm going to put an auxiliary power supply back here as well, but more on that later. So I think just to wrap things up, the water tank is in, less the straps. Tomorrow I'm going to build a mount for the water heater back here, and we're going to do an initial installation of the galley. And I think this wraps it up for this episode. It took a couple of days, but such is life.